When Justice League was announced years ago, guys, I was incredibly excited because, look, I'm a massive DC fan, and I've always been a DC fan, more so than a Marvel fan. I've become very much so a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and what they've done there is absolutely incredible. Can't take anything away from them. But I always loved Justice League, right? Just all these characters, read the comics and things of that nature. And what I will say is I was incredibly disappointed with the take that was Justice League. And I know that there was a lot of issues behind the scenes, the Justice Week because of Joss Whedon's take on it, and Zack Snyder, that whole tragedy that happened and the reasoning why he wasn't able to finish it, and things of that nature. Lots of people questioning, was there really a Snyder cut, and so on and so forth. But all I can say, guys, is that I was really excited to hear that there was, and it was true, and I believed it for sure, that there was a Snyder cut. What it was going to look like, we didn't know. But after seeing the Justice League Snyder cut trailer that came out at DC Fandom, I got to say, look, lots of CGI and things of that nature. Very Zack Snyder-esque. I mean, when you think of like 300 and some of the other movies that he's directed and such, very much so felt like one of his movies. But definitely, guys, looks to be, I mean, just from the trailer, looks like it's got to be better than what the final product we got that was Justice League. And what I'll say is it's going to be a four-part, series, or kind of four-part breakdown on HBO Max that's going to be coming out next year. And there's a lot I'm excited about here with this Justice League Snyder cut. I mean, even just the fact that we're getting a bunch of never before seen footage, the fact that it's a four-part, it's going to be a 4-hour movie, so that means there's a ton of footage in there, guys. That makes me really excited. It really does. I'm really excited just to see what this take on Justice League is. And I'm hoping, guys, that we get another take on it at some point or another. Who knows? Maybe Matt Reeves really sets the DC cinematic universe in a great direction, following with Wonder Woman and what's being, with Patty Jenkins and what she's doing with Wonder Woman. And maybe, just maybe, guys, we can get another Justice League down the road. I just think, and I've said this many times, that DC needed to take their time and build the universe. They should have continued right off of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. They did not do that, and it felt like they kind of just jumped right in, doing Batman versus Superman and then doing, obviously, Justice League. I mean, obviously they've done like Man of Steel and things of that nature, but just overall felt so rushed to get us to Justice League. Whereas when you look on the flip side of Marvel, how they built their universe over time, starting with Iron Man, going all the way through, Avengers Endgame, and then moving onwards to the next phase. They should have done something similar. DC should have taken a page out of the Marvel book of what they were doing from a cinematic perspective. With that, guys, I want to talk about, like I said, Justice League and the Snyder Cut and everything that we know so far about it, and we can have a real conversation about it. So let's get right into it, guys. In an article written by Samuel Roberts of Tech Radar, from new footage to bad CG aliens. This weekend, Zack Snyder revealed the first trailer of his new Justice League cut, which is coming to the HBO Max streaming service in 2021. It's unclear how Zack Snyder's Justice League will release in countries without the streamer, like the UK, but Snyder promised a distribution plan is in the works that'll let everyone see it. So the trailer pretty much gave Snyder fans what they wanted, scenes that were once teased for the 2017 movie but ended up on the cutting room floor, as well as confirmed appearances of characters that were eventually sliced out of the film. Generally, I predict the Snyder version of Justice League will end up being better than the muddled 2017 film, even if I'm fairly confident that it'll provoke a divisive reaction in the same way his other DC Comics adaptations have. I agree with this 100%. I do think it's going to be more popular. I think that people will like it more. But I will say this, guys. I haven't said this here on the YouTube channel, but I will say this. Zack Snyder is not that guy when it comes to comics, in my personal opinion. I believe that he is very good at making specific style movies. I loved 300, guys. I thought 300 was great. The slow-mo, he loves doing the slow-mo cam and all of those things. He does a great job with movies like that. But when we get to the superhero stuff, look, I believe he did Man of Steel, which I thought was good. But Batman versus Superman, and that was not what I envisioned. I did not like that it seemed like it was going to be this massive fight in Batman versus Superman between the two characters, and it ended up being like a 3 to 5 minute fight, and it just felt like so much buildup and such a letdown. In my opinion, was Batman versus Superman. I thought they could have done such a better job with it. I'm not saying that Snyder's a bad director. I just don't think he's the guy to do these, massive, stories that are, in like superhero stories. He's not like the Russo brothers when they came in and did like Captain America Civil War, and, they, of course, did the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. I'm not saying that Zack Snyder, like I said, don't take this that I'm saying that he's a bad director, because I don't think he's a bad director. I just don't think he's the guy that should be doing these massive, movies like this, like a movie that these spectacle movies that, us as fans are really looking forward to. They need to be dealt with in a very precise way, not kind of like in these, action sequences, which all in all, guys, I feel like Zack Snyder should no longer do, these types of movies. And now the same thing can be said for other directors out there as well. And like I said, I just want to see some other guys get a chance to see what their vision is. Like Matt Reeves with the Batman. I can't wait to see his version and vision for it, because who knows, guys, he could be the guy who does the next Justice League. We don't know. But the thing is that we really got to have like a sample size of what these directors have done in the past, but also what they do with these DC comic characters. And I feel like Zack Snyder should not have been given the green light to do Justice League after what we saw with Batman vs. Superman. And that's just my opinion. Now, the never-before-seen footage. The coolest part of the trailer is seeing scenes that were never in the finished film. Despite being teased by promotional materials ahead of its release, the novelty value of getting more Batfleck and Ezra Miller's Flash is high, and these extra parts of the movie are the reason people wanted this cut to begin with. If the Snyder version of the movie is 4 hours long and the original theatrical release is 120 minutes in length, with some of the reshoots that Snyder didn't direct, you're looking at minimum of 2 hours of Justice League you've never seen before. Now, Snyder refers to Cyborg as the heart of the film, and the trailer suggests we're going to see more of Victor Stone's life as a football star before he becomes the superhero. And that's something I'm excited about, guys. I want to learn more about Cyborg. And this is a reason why I wish we would have gotten a solo Cyborg movie, the solo Batman movie with Ben Affleck, and we already had Man of Steel, but, obviously, I just wanted them to build this thing more before releasing Justice League. We didn't get that, and I'm excited, though, to learn more about Cyborg, to say the least. Now, I would personally prefer to enjoy this film in a TV miniseries-like format rather than struggling through a 4-hour movie. Watching the Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition was already fairly exhausting, even though it's a superior version of the movie, which I have not seen, guys. So, take that with a grain of salt as well. I have only seen the theatrical version of Batman vs. Superman. I will watch the Ultimate Edition at some point or another. Maybe it'll change my perspective on Batman vs. Superman, but from the theatrical version, it just didn't cut it for me. Even though it's a superior version of the movie, it's not an experience I repeat too frequently, given that it's 3 hours long. Thankfully, for fans who want that marathon experience, the film will be offered in a more traditional complete format once it's finished releasing, if you got the patience to enjoy it all in a single sitting. My guess is that the episodic structure is as much about HBO Max wanting to create hype over a longer period as it is about the practicalities of watching a 4-hour film. And I agree with that 100%. I mean, obviously, they want to have like some of these original products on HBO Max, and I think it's a great way that they can do it by having Justice League as a 4-part. I mean, I think it's great. I think moving forward, man, you should be, if you're going to have like ultimate editions and different cuts to movies, having them like this kind of style, these big spectacle movies, it might be the way to go. We'll have to kind of wait and see, guys. Iris West is in Snyder's cut. The original Justice League cut kept a scene between Barry Allen and his imprisoned father, played by Billy Crudup, but deleted his encounter with future love interest Iris West. It's great to see this cutscene added again, especially ahead of the Flash movie coming in 2022. Ezra Miller's Flash was one of the release movie's best parts. Why not give the hero a little romance? And I agree. I think the scene, just by watching it, even though it was very, very quick, guys, just a snippet in the trailer, it looks like a pretty epic scene. So, and it kind of, I think that's great to see like that love interest happen. There's a scene I really liked at the start of this Justice League trailer between Clark Kent and Lois Lane that criminally got sliced from the finished cut. It was a delicate bit of relationship building that the finished film was lacking. Based on the new Snyder Cut trailer, this seems to have found its way back into his version of the movie. Generally speaking, there wasn't enough of Henry Cavill in the 2017 Justice League either, considering that the entire series of these movies was originally built around him. And I agree. We need more Superman, man. More Superman, more Batman, more Flash. I mean, we want to see more of these characters, and that's why I felt like they each needed their own solo movies building up to Justice League. Using Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah in the teaser was embarrassingly cheesy, both for recalling the ludicrous Night Owl Silk Spectre from Snyder's otherwise good 2009 Watchmen adaptation, and for overstating how exciting the idea of watching a new version of an old, bad superhero film really is. And I will give him this. I'll give Snyder this. Watchmen was a good movie. It was pretty good. I mean, I will say that. I'll give him that, that I did like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. I liked his 300 take. I thought 300 was his best by far, but Watchmen was certainly a decent adaptation in my opinion. It was probably just early effects work, but the opening shot of the villain, Darkseid, looked poor to me. If Snyder's fanbase is going to make such a big deal about the DC villain's inclusion in this version of the movie, it'd be nice if he actually looked good. People already complain extensively about Steppenwolf, the CG monster villain from the original Justice League cut. And if Thanos demonstrate anything in the MCU, it's that getting this kind of character right requires both nuanced motives and high-quality visual effects work. And I agree. Look, some of this stuff still needs work, and I think that they're probably working on some of this still, guys. Potentially, maybe they're not. It's hard to say. Some of it does look somewhat cheesy, but some of it looks okay. I think some of the visual effects do look good. Others, not so much. But all in all, here's what I'll say, guys. I'm excited about this. The Snyder Cut already, to me, I'm sold on it actually potentially being better than the 2017 version of Justice League that we got. And being a 4-part series, 4 hours long, being able to watch it on HBO Max, I'm excited about it. Grab your popcorn, guys. This might actually be, it's something exciting. A real popcorn movie. I mean, Zack Snyder's movies are all about that. They're like these blockbuster types of films that have a lot of slow-mo cam and things of that nature. It should be interesting, and I'm excited to see it nonetheless, even though, obviously, we got that sour taste in our mouth from the 2017 Justice League. But with that, guys, let me know, what do you guys think about, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, coming out, obviously in 2021 on HBO Max. What do you guys think about it? What are you excited about? What are you kind of skeptical about? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Justice League, the Snyder Cut content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.